In this video, I'll show you how to roast any type of squash seeds into a crunchy, savory snack, a simple, low-waste recipe that turns something you might normally toss into the trash into something seriously delicious. All you need are the seeds from a large squash, a little oil or ghee, and some salt.
Hi, this is Max from lovehistamineiats.com, where we make and share histamine-friendly recipes.
If you've just cooked a big squash, don't toss those seeds. When roasted properly, they turn golden, crisp, and deeply satisfying, with the texture similar to pumpkin seeds, but slightly more tender and nutty. They actually remind me of fresh buttered popcorn. Start by separating the seeds from the stringy squash pulp. I like to do this right after scooping out the squash while everything's still fresh. Use your fingers to pull away as much of the fibrous strands as possible, then place the seeds into a bowl of water and swish them around. The pulp will float to the top, making it easier to skim off. Drain the seeds in a colander once they're mostly clean and rinse them again if needed. You should get about 1/3 to half a cup of seeds from a squash that large. It's about 4 pounds, but it's more about the size of the bottom of the squash and the sides of the seeds themselves. Next, we need to dry the seeds very thoroughly. This step is key for crispiness. Preheat your oven to 225 degrees Fahrenheit, or about 105 Celsius. Then spread them out on a silicone mat or aluminum foil on your baking tray, trying to limit any overlap. Then put them in the oven to dry out for about 5 to 10 minutes. For smaller batches, you can even do this in a toaster oven, though I don't recommend using parchment paper as the wet seeds end up sticking to it. Ask me how I know. Once the seeds are dry, you can either drizzle them with a little over a half teaspoon of oil or ghee directly while they're on the mat or foil, moving them around to lightly coat them all. Or you can transfer them to a bowl and toss them in the oil very lightly. It is seriously just a tiny amount of fat, as they'll crisp up and become super flavorful with just a small amount. Adding too much will actually just cause them to lose texture when they're stored, as extra fat will just sit on the outside of the seeds, softening them. So once your seeds are fully dried, oiled, and salted, raise your oven temperature to about 275 degrees Fahrenheit or 135 Celsius. Then sprinkle on that generous pinch of sea salt and shake everything a bit, keeping the seeds in a single layer as best you can, making sure they're not overlapping. Roast them in the oven for about 12 to 15 minutes, stirring about halfway to ensure even browning. You'll know they're done when they're lightly golden, dry to the touch, and make a subtle popping sound as they finish the last minute or two of roasting. It really is a lot like popcorn. Once roasted, remove the seeds from the oven and let them cool completely on the pan. They'll continue to crisp up as they cool, so try not to judge the final texture while they're still really hot. These roasted squash seeds are perfect as a snack on their own. I usually finish the batch that day, or sprinkled over soups and salads for added crunch. Store any leftovers in an airtight container at room temperature for a couple of days, or in the fridge if your kitchen runs warm. They shouldn't build up any histamine if kept in an airtight container, though you could theoretically freeze them if you were worried about that. And that's it. An easy, nourishing way to use up every part of your squash and reduce food waste at the same time. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more simple, low histamine eats. Let me know in the comments how you like to season your seeds, and I'll see you in the next video.